Okay, in you go. Stay safe, brother.
Diver, in the water at 300 feet. Bell, do you copy? Comms check.
Comms check.
The thrusters have gone offline.
How many?
All of them.
The movie's awesome. I had a great time watching it, man. It's built for a movie theater. Thank goodness for that. It's like I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. To the three of you, Finn, you can kick it off. You know, what made you want to make Last Breath?
I came across this documentary a few years ago, probably about a year before the script came around. And my agent sent me the script and I was like, I've already shown this documentary to all my friends and my family. And had the opportunity to play Chris, and then read it, and the script was as fast-paced and exciting as the doc, and I was like, cool. And then it kind of helped that these two were also involved, but you know, like
sure.
Kind of just went from there.
He threw
us on there.
He did. No, that was nice.
That was
appreciate
sweet,
it.
man.
Thanks for your generosity.
Kind-hearted human.
Wow.
You know. I had worked with Paul Brooks on this movie, Champions, and he was interested in this. And so he said to watch the doc, and I watched the doc. And the next day I said, I'm in. And he goes, well, don't you want to read the script? I said, I'm in. You know, this is phenomenal. You know, it's a nail biter too, the doc as well. You know, it's cool that he got Alex Parkinson to direct the film as well as having directed the doc. So he knew exactly what he was doing, and he just made it really exciting.
Yeah. I think for me, it was about the experience too of learning how to dive. You know, they said, you know, I read the script and obviously loved it, and I loved the character of Dave. And then they said, okay, if you do this, you're going to be diving every day. You're going to be underwater. They're not going to fake anything. Like, you're going to do the damn thing. And, you know, I just think, in a world where we've basically dreamt up every way to fake everything on screen nowadays, especially with AI, it's something to be said for a movie to actually just do, you know, we weren't, you know, 100 meters below sea level, but we shot in a tank and we went to work every day and put on our wetsuits and went underwater.
Ship's moving, get out of there.
Right now. Copy that.
A smack.
There is no more slack.
That's everything.
I've got.
The ship's not drifting.
Chris has become our anchor. That's never going to hold.
Chris, on me.
What happens now?
Your umbilical, it's gonna snap. I will come back for you, but you have to get yourself back to the top. I can't rescue you if I can't find you. Understand?
Just make sure I'm like
The movie made me so claustrophobic watching you guys. Listen, Chris's survival is miraculous, and I love stories like this. But, you know, I've never asked
Spoilers.
Spoiler. He's spoiling to all of Toronto.
You know, it's Toronto. We went through this before. Do you think about divine intervention, coincidence, luck? Like, what does that make you think about when you are presented a story like this?
Spiritual question.
Well, it's a good question, because I think that, like, I would always approach it, and I think these guys would probably say the same, is that you approach it from the point of view of the people that you're playing's perspective on this kind of thing. I feel like Dave had a very different opinion on what he thought of this whole experience as, you know, to Duncan and to some of the other guys involved. I mean, I know talking to Chris that it's definitely been something that over the last few years he's had to, like, kind of figure out and learn. But he said, like, a lot of people, like, have sent him emails to be like, what's it like to reach the other side, you know? And he's had to talk to people because he's had this experience of accepting death, accepting this fate, and what that experience is like. That's the closest that most people get. So he's able to explain to people how calm and how sort of euphoric almost the feeling was. So talking to Chris about that side of things was extraordinary. But he had a different experience to the other guys. So I think for all of us, like, we all had different mindsets going into it. But I mean, it's wild to think of. Like, they didn't really have time though, did they? Like, they didn't have time to think about that kind of thing in the moment. So I imagine reflecting on kind of death and all, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know that Dave's reflected too much.
No, he's just got on with it.
He's just gone on with it. I think if you were to ask him, I think if he were in the room, he'd say it was just a day on the job and he was just doing what he's supposed to. He's doing what they trained for.
Yeah.
He just keeps moving forward.
Just keeps moving.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like there is a spiritual element to it, almost in the midst of an action film, really. It's not a genuine action film, but everything about it is like an action film. you have this real spiritual element, which is the mystery of how Chris survived, you know. And now that he's let the cat out of the bag, I think,
Yeah, I feel like we can. Yeah,
might as well just
thanks for
roll
that.
with it. Yeah.
You can do this, buddy.
I'm with you.
Incoming swell. Brace for impact. Now! Now!
Chris! Diver! Where are you?